Welcome back. Yeah, so it turns out that I had completely forgotten to make a video about the spear. So we're going to do that now. Spear is probably my least favorite of the weapons in the game. Which is probably the reason why I forgot it. But it's a fine weapon. It's just not really like a thing that works to my playstyle. Let me show you how this works out. So, right, you do regular old jabs. You basically have to completely stop your movement every time you make an attack here. You can do this dash attack, which is alright. You've got big old range there. You can throw the spear and recall it. Notice you get like backstab when it comes back. It's pretty neat. And then you can charge up and do a big old spin attack, which is usually useful for like situations where mobs are about to spawn. But it's usually standing here in place for a while is usually a tall ask. Alright, so we've got here height and security turned on because we need to find a heat from somewhere, as well as maxed out extreme measures because it's I found a decent way to increase the heat without making things super crazy.
Ready.
It at least increases heat in a reliable way. Ooh, I like starting off with a hammer. Alright, more range and more damage to distant foes, or hold special for additional damage, or your special deals more damage to armor. I'm tempted to take just the damage to armor, just so we have a quick way of getting through that. So the spear tends to be kind of a low DPS weapon for me. I think I'm just gonna take breaching skewer. Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
I should do it. Got to fight.
Oh yeah, right.
I know you're out there, fish. Got a bite.
So the trick to catching this fish there, if I haven't mentioned, is that you gotta wait for the little flash, and then if you, as soon as you see that flash, you hit the right bumper, you will get it like every time. Let me go down this.
Father and his brothers, when they sealed the Titans in the darkest reaches of this world, that was the last they saw of me as well. You are dissimilar from them, and I feel safe communicating thus with you.
Oh, thanks, Cass. Alright, so +1 shard, or can't collect shards, gain hit points, or dash strike does more damage. Now I mentioned prior that the big reason why we want to pick up Chaos Boons is that getting these damage increases are pretty useful. I think we're going to do Sloth Runs here. Also, I just realized that my audio is all messed up, so let me just fix that here for a second. Alright, let's make it a lot easier to hear me there. I don't know what it is, but like my computer has to run everything in half audio to record correctly. Okay, so Key gives us a reroll. Some just gems, mostly money there. I usually like to take the darkness here because we heal off of it, as well as gain max hit points. Yeah, so like predominantly what I'm going to do is when I'm playing the spear here is just try and find good moments to poke. We can't do a lot of like dodging in and out of combat, just because we don't really have an attack that is mobile in the same way that a lot of other weapons are. Okay, I'll take more darkness here. The special air is a good use, good way to get rid of some of these guys at long range. We don't really want to get too close to skulls. They don't do much damage, but then, you know, it's no point in taking chip damage if you can avoid it.
About my birthright.
Alright, Artemis. Yeah, there we go.
Something's troubled me a little about you. You fight so desperately. At first I thought you simply lacked in patience, but now I see it's urgency that drives you. What is it that you're after, really?
I don't like common boons, but if we were going to pick any of these things, I'd probably pick the special option here. We're going to reroll and see what we get.
Name of Hades.
Oh, that's not great. Okay, so I don't want to pick casts here because this is a pretty weak cast at common. Even though we're going to bump it up because of the chaos boon. So I kind of want to pick something that's going to be quite impactful. I'm going to pick Hunter's Dash here. It's kind of just a dump, really. Which is fine. It happens. The things we're really looking for is to... Whoops. A little spicy here. Dodge right through him. Things we're looking for usually in a run are things like either a boosted attack or special, and then some boost to cast. That can vary based on the weapon you're using and like the combination of boons you have. But it is usually you want to focus on one of those two main attacks because often your special can just like end up being treated like another regular attack. And you can afford to kind of ignore your basic attack somewhat. Or vice versa, you can ignore your special sometimes. Cast is not a mandatory thing, oops, when we're doing a run, but boy howdy, it's a nice damage burst. And pretty much whatever cast ability you pick is pretty great. Even the arrow from Artemis is good. In fact, it's usually pretty strong because it's crit ability, but not at common. Alright, so we got another Artemis boon here. We usually want to take, like, the general rule of thumb is that anything that's not a boon, like, so for instance, hearts, money, palms, crystals, gemstones, like nectar less so. Like, nectar's pretty good, usually, but it's kind of like a random palm, so it's kind of like, once you've maxed out your nectar on a lot of the characters, then it's, like, not as useful. But things we're really looking for are hammers, god boons, and like palms kind of strike the line between, you know, you being useful and not, like something we're looking for and not looking for. Special events are also really good sometimes. Like, I mean, like, One Massville is really nice. Depending on how well you're doing, getting to, unfortunately I can't remember his name right now, the guy in Act 3, the special event, isn't always useful if you've been doing too well. it's great as it's like a catch-up if you've been like losing a bunch of your free chances earlier in the run. There we go, then we just lock him down. But yeah, having a good gimmick on a run is usually the winning strategy. So here we go. Here's some real choices here. You notice how like that went up to like 90 damage from 70. It's just that much better, especially considering that like this is your base and like we're going to be bonifying our base. There aren't that many things that change your base damage in the game. Attack might be useful. I kind of like having a status effect based attack. I'm just going to go with a shot here. Alright, we got our normal move speed. That's a pretty rough boon to take, the lowered attack speed, but... Not attack speed, move speed, but in the first area here in Tartarus, it's usually more manageable than it is elsewhere. Yeah, don't forget that, oops, most of these purple attacks you can actually just ignore by attacking them. But that's not always true. Those beams will get you every time. But they don't do much damage, so that's like the upside. Pick up our stones. Yeah, one nice thing about the arrow is that you can kind of... You can be pretty lazy on how you fire it. Turns out there's actually like totally like good reasons just to go slower and to think it out. It's odd, I think, to me that this game like switches from being kind of like a Dark Souls-y kind of like think about what you're gonna do before you do it, and then like the dash thing can sometimes just be like, yeah, no, I'm just gonna ignore all damage. And there's like the weapons that fit both playstyles where you just go like mash the buttons and then. Avoid as much damage as you can. I want to hit the other guy. It's fine.
I've better things to do.
Or you can, you know, be more methodical. As it turns out, when I was playing this game, when I was quite tired, and not quite as many actions per minute, going slow can be okay. It's actually like important not to get too much tunnel vision about what you're doing. Be like, oh, it's fine to just back up and, you know, dirtle sometimes. Of course, if you're running the Pact of Punishment, where you have to finish each area in 9 minutes or less, that is not really a choice at that point. You play as quickly as possible. In fact, I don't think I would run the 9-minute escape thing if it weren't for the fact that if I was using the spear, I wouldn't be doing a time limit. Like, you can get some pretty high DPS builds out of the spear, but I haven't had good experiences with trying to do what you can do with, like, say, the sword or the fists or the shield. There you go.
Power of Olympus.
Let's get that.
Thank you for your support. Might as well.
So the things we're looking for here, I think, are maybe attack or special, and then cast would be best. I guess we could go with dash strike if we want to try and go into a dash strike based build. There's a modifier for the there's a hammer. Sorry, there's a hammer option for the spear, where dash strike gets insane.
In the name of Hades.
But that's not always a given. It's actually kind of rare that you get that one. Well, these are all really good. I think we're gonna take this cast bonus though, and we always take Poseidon pretty much. Poseidon's one of the best gods in the game, I think.
My crusty elder brother Hades must have tried to poison you against us lot. I can imagine it clear as water, nephew. I'm proud that you've resisted his undoubtedly most twisted words.
Cute. Ooh, these would both be good, except that they're both in common. Really don't want that. I'm gonna reroll this.
How about another?
Yeah, that's even worse. I guess we're gonna take the special on here.
It's high tide.
Maybe we can upgrade it in rarity somehow.
I'm back, ladies.
I guess we know the drill by now, don't we? Not that I don't enjoy our little arguments in my own way.
By the way, this is what you get when you increase the bosses have more modes thing for the Pact of Punishment. You get multiple Furies showing up at the same time. You only have to fight one, but the others show up to throw things at you. And then some of the other bosses will have some big changes. You'll see them as we hit them down the road. Hopefully we'll manage to beat Hades in this one. Okay. Yeah, big old crit. It's nice. Nice and slow. No reason to rush things. So one big advantage of our spear or special having knockback, is that it's really long range, and you can knock guys like a million miles away, like you can with a bow. Yeah, I didn't want to hit that trash mob there. Oop, walked right into it. I don't remember this gas being a thing. This just seems to be obscuring my vision. Dang, I wish we were closer. We could get some hits, free hits in here. Ow. I don't know what it is about that pattern, but I have a really hard time dodging around it. It's actually predominantly why I'm running the double dash instead of the one where you, if you dash just before you get hit, then you get like a bonus damage and dodge thing for 2 seconds. Which is actually pretty neat. Except that when you get used to 2 dashes, like, it's really useful to have both dashes. Especially in some of the later fights where attacks can get really huge.
Moving on.
Alright, so I'm actually going to pick Demeter here, and hope that we can get the rare crop ability so we can beef up our special. Do I want to heal for 25? I don't know. I think we'll be fine. We'll grab this tracker, though.
Can wash away my boons.
Okay, so I could sell the special damage, but I don't have another boon from Bursidon. And if I sell his only boon, we're going to lose 6% damage, and we're also going to potentially never see him again, so we'll hang on to it for now.
Change of scenery, at least.
Yeah, look around for pots. Sometimes these guys down here will be full of money.
Right on cue.
Yeah. Yeah, still can't pick those up right away.
What?
Plagues and keep away. There we go.
All clear.
So, probably take that nectar here in a second.
That was ill-advised.
Darn. I want to get those Medusas down. Getting hit by a straight rock can lead to a lot of damage. And you can see here where we're talking about the lack of DPS on the spear. Stupid Medusa. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. There we go. As you can see, we got 44 of that total. Probably was not worth our time, actually. We took more damage than we wanted to.
On
I think
to the next one.
like 18, yeah. Not really worth 40 gold.
Something's amiss.
Uh,
I sensed your presence here. A Looks like we've got an urgent work-related matter to attend to.
It's a race.
You brazen wretches ought to have turned back.
You definitely ought.
Okay, land over here so you don't die automatically. I want to try and kill these guys before the hammer falls on them. I just push you out of the attack zone? No. Okay. Oh, well, I think it's a tie, so I still win.
Another tie, huh?
Nice.
Let's keep this between us.
Looks like a good batch.
More dash strike damage. Alright. Gems, shop, and darkness. We're gonna go take the darkness so we can heal up. Check around for pots. Be nice if we could finally see a god boon so we could get that Demeter thing to work. Right, gotta hit him with the special so they can break their armor off. Just get in there.
My Chaos Boon evolved a new effect.
Alright, so mini boss fight for Demeter. Okay, yeah, well, I mean, I don't like that mini boss, but I don't like money more than the God Boon, so. Okay, Sparge, that's fine. That's actually better, I think. Cool music. See how much more damage we do when we do a wall slam, right? It's pretty staggering. The biggest deal about Poseidon's boons getting better is that a lot of the later boons that upgrade what Poseidon does do a huge amount of increased damage. Pretty much any of them, like the one where you get to double knockbacks, that's like every time you knock that thing into a wall, it's gonna take damage, so. Ow, 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 ow. That was not good. Gotta remember to stay out of the magma. It's easy to lose track of the magma when you're fighting a bunch of stuff.
The mark of chaos is upon you, isn't it? A force older than I. Yet one which you ought not trust so readily. No rhyme or reason to that one at all.
Sure. It's fine.
Cold.
Nourish Soul would have been also a good choice. I probably shouldn't have gone through that so fast. But so Nourish Soul, I could have healed up and then made my healing effects better. And then the other middle one was the Demeter's Call, which is like a big static AoE. And it's possible that we'll get like the some of the boons like Decay or the one where you clear 10 stacks of chill, do damage. That might be alright. Ow. Ow. Get hit by a lot of those final grenades there.
Not yet.
I guess I gotta get the reward first. Alright.
That's better.
Oh, this'll heal us up a bunch.
Here we go.
Assuming we can
I'll
collect
come
a bunch of it.
off
Who knows how much will be left by the time we're done.
No time to lose.
No, back up, back up.
I shall deal with you later.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Alright, sweet.
Thank you, Father. Nice.
So we gain, like, you know, most of that as healing. So pretty much darkness just turns into health. And you've got this there you go, dark regeneration on. You get 80% of darkness as health. I just can't fathom wanting to run the other version of that perk there, the talent, where you gain like 3 health every time you transition a room. Yeah, no, dark regeneration is way better mathematically. It's just the right choice. Alright, there's nothing here. Okay, so I can take a key for a reroll. We don't use keys anymore to unlock anything. Or we can take some gemstones for some money. But it's like 20 money. I'd rather have a reroll, personally. I mean, we reinvest that when we leave the zone. We get 10%. Additions is like 22, and then 10% 22 is like another 2 or 3. So it might be 25 in total coins, but reroll is usually much better, considering that sometimes you buy, like, you know, a 150 coin god boon, and all the options are terrible, and, you know, you basically save yourself 150 gold sometimes when you do a reroll. Ow. So mostly we're going to try and use our cast here to finish things off. So we get our cast back right away. Into the lava with you.
I'll just keep this on me.
Ares or more Artemis? Let's see, what would I do with an Ares boon? I get Doom to something. Doom would have been really good on our attack or a special, but it's not an option anymore. We have an attack option, or we have a cast option, so we can't take Ares as a cast option. So probably offer us a swap, if anything, because we have so many main options here. I think I'm just gonna go deeper into Artemis rather than to keep expanding on new gods. Yeah, well.
In the name of Hades.
Try to work ourselves towards some of these legendary things. Alright, so these are all really good. I mean, aside from the rarity. So Exit Wounds is pretty strong. Dual Shot is really nice. I mean, you just get extra damage, multiply all of your casts by 20% more damage. Where'd take Exit Wounds?
The dead had better hide.
Because I didn't want to spend a reroll there. And Exit Wounds is just a fine option, too. So I'm going to attack some of these bullets here, just to show you that I can. Poke, 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 poke. Poke, poke, poke. I can technically charge this up, I guess here. Shows you how much I use the spin attack, and when I do, I take free damage for no reason. Okay. Whoops. Pointed the wrong direction. Hit you with a couple of these, they'll eventually pop out here. You're kind of in the second middle phase here. Often when it just goes into range attacks here, you kind of can't do anything. So throwing a couple slow attacks in there, and getting my Bloodstones back. I can actually expect to get them back before this phase. Spicy. So the wave attacks are usually what deal damage to me in this fight, because they come in from a ways away, and they're just outside my. There you go. Yeah, I want to try and rotate as much as possible, and of course clear some of these heads towards the periphery, or at least clear yourself a space so that you can start fighting this in a more reserved way. Have safe zones that you can go back to. Of course, this is like, I haven't even mentioned the fact that this is the alternative Bonehunter fight. Where it's all of the... They basically just give you nowhere to hang out. Lernie can hit you from pretty much everywhere. Small spoiler, if you didn't know that Lernie eventually becomes Lernie. Oops. Not crazy about like some of these pillars, how they look when they're crumbled all the way down, because they can still block things, but they don't look like they can block anything.
Hydra heads were never meant to fly.
Nice.
It's brilliant.
Alright. I once saw a fish in this room, and I was so frustrated that I passed on it because I didn't even know it was there. And so now I'm just like looking for fish like a hawk. I suspect that if you find a fish in the boss room, it's probably going to be something pretty sweet. Because once upon a time I found a fish in Chaos' spoon room. And that was worth, I think, Titan's Blood.
I sure did, Father.
Alright, so Demeter, we have her boon open, so we can switch to something else. Let's just take the shawl. Just level it up.
Should I take the trade?
Can trash any of these if I want to. We still don't have an alternative for Poseidon, so we're just going to leave it alone. We don't need any of these. And off we go.
Get me out of here.
Got a big old pile of coins building up for the last shop. Which is, I try to hold on to money as long as possible so I can get that multiplier. Just keep reinvesting. And then, you know, you need a lot of money in the final shop. Alright, so there's Chaos, and those are not super great, so we're gonna
I can take it.
take out a Chaos Boon. Sometimes if I see something like a double God Boon or a hammer, I'll skip the Chaos, even if I paid for it.
In the name of Hades.
Alright, so Dash Strike can do even more. That might be a thing. Yeah, okay, let's take it. Alright, so all these are lackluster, but we'll heal up. Those little cars. Little cherry guys. Wish the spear were just a little more accurate on the auto aim at the long ranges. Ow. That's all my fault. Some of these spear shades, Probably like my least favorite shade, because they can hit you from longer you think,
Same thing for the mirror.
longer ranges than you think. Or you'd be blah 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 blah. You'd be surprised. So try to hound them pretty hard. Okay, so Hermes or two boons. We'll take two boons. Doing pretty well, I think. Our current status of our run is good. Treasure Trove is nice. Alright. So, let's see, which one of these are we going to take first? So, both of these kind of have, like, I think Demeter, she's got, like, pools of frost that appear. And those are, I think, easier to avoid than the projectiles and attacks just following you around all the time. So, let's take this one. Spurt Fire is good. I'll reroll all these for try and get some bigger rarity, though. Replace Tempest Flourish. Yeah, okay, none of these are very exciting. Alright.
I'll make every strike count.
A careless choice you've made there, Zagreus. As you grow long in years, perhaps you shall learn better judgment as to whom to trust, and whom to never, ever disrespect.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sure you'll hit me for a bunch of damage. Okay. So watch out for those pools there. Just kind of kite backwards. As long as you can get any amount of damage in these returning shades, you're usually fine. Okay. I've had some runs recently where those chariots have messed me up pretty hard. So I'm definitely respecting them a lot more than I used to. It's okay if a couple shades regen if we take out that chariot instead of trying to do something unsafe. Dang it. Alright, well, we want both of them to come back. Slow and easy. That's the spear.
Zagreus. You've my good graces, and my temper's cooled for now.
Oh yeah, Arctic Blast I think is pretty good. Red Crop, that's... I don't like the common one. Yeah, Red Crop has no value if you upgrade it later. It just like picks a boon and then upgrades it all the way to Heroic tier if you have enough encounters, which we do. So we'll just kind of, we'd pick something and it would randomly upgrade to Heroic eventually, but Arctic Blast is pretty good with our main attack there.
You shall pay for that.
Especially if we can get it epics. Where we want everything, basically. Okay, just gonna whiff a whole bunch. Ow, ow, ow. Shield guys are annoying. I mean, all the shades are some degrees of difficult. The arrow guys, you mostly just want to see whether or not you have like a bullseye in your head. And if you do, you just can't stop. No matter where they are, that arrow is going to come at your head. So you just keep moving around. Just frustrating when you got a lot of bows on different cycles, but do what you gotta do. Just remember to try and like wait for your moments. Don't take risky shots. But you know, leap in there. Get ready to do some dangerous DPS if you see one of them about to come back. Okay, These purple guys are the most annoying. Yep, that's kind of a bunch of those butterflies with the spear. Yeah, this is kind of like where this is the problem. There we go.
The curse of chaos has expired.
Special damage seems good. Reason that all the time. I'll take Demeter again. Kind of hoping to get their legendary here. Ooh, okay. We just want to DPS down the center here as quickly as possible. Because these shades will just continually respawn. So long as the big orb is going.
That was fully rearmed.
There we go. So now we can actually finish the fight. At this point it just becomes ow, ow, ow. Got stuck there. It becomes a more standard fight after that. Man, those guys with swords, all of these shades can just like poke you a lot faster than you might be expecting it to happen. Alright, like that guy comes out of nowhere, right? Just pokes you. It's 10 damage. 10 damage. Okay. Focus down the spear. Divide and Conquer here.
Thank the gods.
Okay, so random crop for 2. That's not so bad. Snow burst when you cast you. Chill. That's pretty alright too. Particular crop.
Cool, cool.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we're cultivating something that was already common and something that I think wasn't very high anyway. Maybe it was epic. That's okay. We'll raise it back up. We always take the hammer. Okay. Yeah, so when you have the opportunity, when you see this little U-shaped thing, and you're fighting against the mini chariots, use that to your advantage, as you just saw there. Oh, purple orbs. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Okay. Blocked. Grab a few. I'm gonna try and convince this guy to move towards the arrow here. There we go. Okay. Ow, ow, ooh, ow, ooh, ooh. Yeah, okay, I think I have the traps do 400% more on, and, that took almost all my health, so that was exciting. Random arrow from these arrow guys. See how they can get you from nowhere. Yeah, it's too bad to lose one of our second chances at this point, but it'll be okay. Alright, so hold to attack rapidly. That might be nice. Special deals 50% more damage and more recovery, 50% critical and recovery, or chain skewer. Oh, that's too bad. I like them all. Flurry Jab would be useful because we have the chill effect that we can repeatedly stack up. And we can stop mashing attack. That'll be nice. Vicious Skewer. We're already using our skewer or spear as a long-range attacker, right? And this will stack them nicely with our existing critical bonuses. And then this one here, it just like AoE damage is pretty alright. Especially, we've got the Poseidon boon on. I'm pretty tempted to take Chain Skewer because in later rooms, Poseidon can get really nutty with chain effects. Yeah, I'm gonna take it.
They'll fear me with
I would have
fear.
earnestly been pretty happy with any of those, but then again, that's kind of like the way that Daedalus Hammer stuff goes, is that they're all good. All of them are good.
Mine.
Although there is some circumstances where a Daedalus boon can be a non-bow, and be problematic for your run. Like, for instance, not being able to do a spin attack is pretty bad for a spear that can't do a spin, that has benefits for doing spin attacks. But, you know, even if that does occur, usually you'll still get some benefit out of it.
The power of the gods.
Alright, we're gonna take attack damage here.
I feel stronger.
So we can get a free reuse of Death Defiance, or we can take a Hermes boon. We can just purchase Death Defiance later. We have a lot of money, so I'm kind of thinking about doing that. Yeah, we're gonna go do Hermes here. And that's why we picked the Chain Shot here, so that we can go to a group of guys and just do all the damage all at once. I mean, technically, I don't think we have to hit the enemy anymore. As long as we hit the surface, it'll start bouncing around. There you go.
Hello, mates.
Ow. Well, better be hit by that smaller arrow than the bigger one.
Let's come back.
That's fine. Almost forgot that we had cast.
Have a nice death. I never could have come this far this quickly had it not been for your tireless support, Lord Hermes, sir. I'm in your debt.
You know, cuz, I gotta say I had a few concerns when we first met, your father being who he is and all, but you're alright.
Yeah, Hermes, I'm alright.
Sorry, cuz, no messages this time. Guess that's what happens when your whole existence is kept secret from the world.
Okay. These are all fine. Regenerate some hit points, dash and additional time. Let's just do dash and additional time. So I tend to mash dash a lot.
All that calling.
Even better if we had like a dash that does a damage of some kind when you move around. Having extra dashes really beefs that up. Not that you can count on that sort of thing. It's not like you're gonna have a build based around doing dashes, but it is still handy every little bit, especially if you get a dash that has like a status effect on it. I mean, that's like almost all of them, but shush. A good status effect. Yeah. So now that we've upgraded the bosses, yeah, Theseus gets a cool minigun chariot, and Mr. Cowman over here, Asterius, gets a full suit of armor, which just means he takes less damage. Yeah, you can see here he's taking way little damage. Oh, Theseus coming around to ruin our day. We're gonna drop Skelly. Spoiler, if you make friends with Skelly, he eventually gets the ability to summon him. And stay away from the Cowman. one of the big things he gets with Suit of Armor is that the attacks get a lot wider. In addition to all the extra damage you're going to be not dealing. Ugh. He also, I think, gets faster in his rush. He got hit by Astarius there. Oh. Yeah, this is annoying, but it is actually easy to control because he just kind of keeps a static position. Oh, okay. And of course, being that Theseus is in the chariot, if you make contact with him, he just hits you for damage. Look, we're actually going to lose another charge here. Oof, get away, get away. Yeah, hypothetically, we could actually be trying to focus down Theseus for this, and try to ignore the Minotaur as much as possible. But if you can take him out, take the Minotaur out. Then it makes the rest of the fight a lot easier, as it would in its previous incarnations. There we go. It's kind of a more interesting choice at that point. Pegged by random bullets. That's another 200 gold down. If we ever get to regenerate that use. Gonna hang out here and let me hit you, will you? Let's just stay behind him. We'll be okay. There we go. So we blow him right out of the chariot. Try and get some hits on him while we're also dodging. Whoop. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Just chill for a second. There we go.
What a loudmouth. Very nice.
Alright, so worse spot than I would like to be running into the final temple here, but we've said that before. we'll be okay. We may run this extra chance though. Or maybe just not get hit 5 times. Keep all these. Not paying for that, although it will pay for Death Defiance, which is definitely worth 200.
Good.
Some free coins here, it's good. No fishing spot here. We could buy a diamond here if we wanted to. I tend not to buy the diamond, just because I think that you tend to run out of things that you actually want to spend diamonds on. There's music and stuff, you can buy that, which is nice if you're into that. But I'll be more reticent to buy a diamond than I will Titan's Blood, considering how much Titan's Blood you need. Let's go lock it in for Hermes. Ooh. So, cast in rapid succession. That could be useful. Special is just faster, or just move faster. I think special is faster. I think that overall, like, it's not too hard to keep pushing this button. But yeah, maybe this was the wrong choice. I don't know. With the spear, it's kind of weird, right? Like, I guess it moves back and forth faster, so you can, like, fire it more often. But special being faster is usually better for the other weapons. Well, that's whatever we picked. We'll buy a palm as well. Okay, and this Aphrodite one. Aphrodite's Aid is interesting because, like, you get to charm enemies. Like, in some boss fights, you can charm, like, say, for instance, Astarius, and then he'll go after Theseus, which they can hit each other normally, but they really... one is charmed to go after the other. They're much more likely. The bigger deal with Aphrodite's Aid is the max god gauge bonus there with the 2500. But that you can get that 2500 damage even at commons. Like, Aphrodite's Aid is kind of weird in the sense that it's like one of the ones that's better at common, usually. Especially considering that other rarities you only get 1 extra second worth of bonus. We're gonna take that though. It's good to have a call, because, you know, it's just extra free attacks. Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever seen 4 different god boons up for grabs here. Especially Athena, there's a new one too. Oh, that's neat. We're going to go straight for Poseidon though, because depending on what we get, that could really have a huge impact on the rest of our run. Yeah, so you can see how this chain with the spear here is just wrecking stuff. And at this point, I can just fire it into the back of the pillar, and it'll just home in. Okay, hide behind the pillar. Repeatedly wall slam. Oh. Wait a minute. What? What just happened? Exowounds and Tempest Flourish. I thought this was already up to Epic, but I guess not.
Purge boons for coin.
Nope. Just keep long. Purging some boons is useful if you need extra cash or... Oh no. Yeah, it's a rough boss actually. Definitely get all of our casts in there. It's really hard to actually get... it's hard to get attacks in on the tiny vermin without getting hit back yourself. There you go. Go after your buddies. Predominantly trying to use our special here to keep our distance and take off these ads. Yeah, don't be in a straight line with that thing, as the story is. It's really hard to avoid that attack. I mean, I guess I could use this gap here, I suppose.
Alright,
Oh, good groove going on here. There we go. It's a rude boss.
Got you, tiny vermin.
Okay, so we should have a reroll here. I definitely don't want to take Ocean's Bounty. Ocean's Bounty is one of those ones where when you pick it up early, it's great, but then it's like later in the run, you want to think about trying to waste it whenever you can. Razor Shoals is probably my pick here. Your boons with knockaway effect deal more damage to bosses. That's also a good choice, because most of your knockback effects don't have any effect on bosses whatsoever. And that kind of turns it on. This isn't so bad, though. It's usually, it's good. It's good in terms of, like, the Poseidon boons, but it gets better with more of the knockback-related boons. Or if you're trying to stack another status type for the perk that gives you more damage when you got 2 status types on a thing. Oh, excuse me, hiccups. Wave pounding it is. We're gonna take wave pounding.
Power of the sea.
Okay.
Back I go.
Fish. You get like a fish chance here every time you exit out of those rooms.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's like a couple gems. Okay, so we have to make a decision whether or not we think we can save up for 1,000. I don't think we can, and we don't want to, so we're gonna buy a palm.
Always a pleasure, Charon.
Tempest Flourish. Do I just want 1% extra crit chance? I don't think so. Okay. So at this point, we're spending all our money on health and more second chances. Let's go into Demeter here. Just poke him to death. Swing of the chain. Swing of the chain. Alright, so our bones chosen by Rare Crop got upgraded to their maximum level here. Or maximum rarity, that is. And then Rare Crop will cease doing anything whatsoever after that point. So if we had an opportunity to sell Rare Crop, we might. I say might because there's actually a tree, secret tree to the way God boons are offered to you. Like some boons won't show up without other boons. And I can't remember whether or not Rare Crop is like a blocker for getting a legendary offer. All the legendary offers require you to have multiple other God boons in the tree leading up to it. It's actually the same with duos as well. You have to have specific stuff, but that's usually the requirement's easier. Usually it's like a specific cast and then a main one of these 4 diamonds on the left side there. But still useful to know if you look up the chart. This is fine to get this at this point, I think.
Good. Cerberus just loves whatever this stuff is.
Okay. Would have liked a legendary thing, but that's okay. Probably didn't earn it. I'm going to take Ravenous Will here, because it's actually a really strong boon to itself. It's actually a big reason why I use the non-regenerating Bloodstones. Because 30% extra damage and 10% damage reduction on
That's cold.
on one perk is a lot. Or one boon. On one boon. Because perks and boons are different.
Fight some satyrs to get out of here.
Definitely keep fighting. Because we have all of these boons to acquire. And I think I can get through most of the trash without taking damage. Just like that. Just staying completely still. Alright. So if we sold anything here, we're not going to be using it to spend on the diamond. We're just getting more currency to spend on a shop that we might see. So I think we're going to stand pat, especially considering that Rare Crop didn't show up. It's possible that it doesn't actually show up in those sales, but I think it's just 3 random choices. Yep. That was easy.
You're nothing like your father, Zagreus. I mean that as a compliment. He cut himself off from the rest of us. Many times have we attempted peace to no avail.
Sad. Yeah, okay. We're basically full up on everything that all the main things that Athena could have given us. So she's gonna give us a bunch of like, kind of like secondary boons. Sure footing really takes the edge off of getting hit by a trap for sure. You with this 90%, it's almost like you're immune. I mean, 90%, right? You get 10% of the damage still, but it is it almost makes them non-existent. I think we're gonna take Proud Bearing.
The shield of light.
And we did take Proud Bearing. The middle option was fine. I can't even remember what it was, but I probably should talk about it. Alright, Artemis. And then I think we'll decide whether or not we're going to go for the last one. But we probably will at this rate. If only for another chance at a shop. And by shop, I mean the Well of Karen, of course. Stand behind the pillar. Good old homing in, auto-seeking weapons.
Alright, who's next?
English, not so good today. Hopefully entertaining, though.
Olympus.
Stay away from these rats. The thing I've learned after multiple runs is that when these rats decide to attack you, your dodge is very unlikely to actually prevent damage. So the rule of thumb is just never get close to those big rats. Ever. That's why they move slow.
That's everyone.
Okay. So, clean kill's probably not worth thinking about, because we only have a 3% crit chance. Hunter's Mark may actually be the one that's worth taking, because we can kind of chain them together. Sportfire is also a good choice here, because we just do like 10 more damage every time we poke with a spear, which is worth thinking about even though it's common. Hunter's Mark won't really do as much against Hades, I think. So I think this is the one where we also have the arrow too, so that can trigger some crit. I don't think you can remark the same foe, so I don't think this is super good. I think we'll just take Support Fire.
My senses sharpen. Should I take the trade?
We don't want to trade any of these, but it's worth looking. Okay, come on, Well of Karen. Stay away from satyrs. Don't do it. Don't touch them. spear is bouncing around in a weird way. It seemed like it was just ricocheting against the wall repeatedly. Oh, oh, oh. Snake stones. That's right. Charmed enemies do a lot of damage to other enemies.
Ready for them. Can't do that. Olympus.
Yeah, why don't you two fight each other? Gotta get out of the way of the saw blades. Whew. I'm actually pretty happy with taking as little damage as I just did. That was a saucy fight. Take this money despite having nothing to do with it. So we actually ended up with like 600 gold in addition, right? So we actually probably could have bought that diamond and not worried so much about the other stuff there, but that's fine. We were really looking for some more Well of Karen options anyway, so it's just unfortunate we didn't see any.
The satyr sack.
I mean, I would have bought like more like darkness if I had an option, but it's actually pretty low number of well options there, so usually you get like more than one. So that's fine.
I guess there's only one thing left to do. Isn't that so, Father?
Yep.
So, Varatha and Gaigaros are to clash again upon this empty field. Let us have at it then.
Gaigaros is his spear. If that wasn't immediately clear. Alright. Just get all of our shards out so we can get the bonus damage right away. We're gonna drop Skelly after the first phase, probably. Okay. I love Skelly. He's such a great character. Alright.
Not yet.
Oh, gotta resist there. It's actually got hit by the attack. We really should be attacking with our spear. Okay. Blam! That's why we save up the gauge there.
Can't do that.
Nice.
Come on, kid.
Yeah, we had no damage so far. That's nice.
Come on.
Oh, there's a resist though, so that was on our free damage shield there. Hide. Free damage, free damage, free damage. Stand still for me. If you haven't noticed already, he actually takes damage from those pots too. Just get in there. Get in there. Oh, dodge. Ow, ow, ow. Yeah, the Acorn's not great if you get hit by those beams. I mean, you'll save, you know, 20 damage per tick, but you lose all of your stacks right away, pretty much. I think I've got this in the bag here. Stand still. Free damage, free damage, free damage, free damage. Damage for all. Oh. Bram.
No matter how many times you beat me, we're family. There's no escaping that.
False.
I cannot remain.
There. In my father's name.
Yeah, like, I appreciate that.
This can unlock a hidden aspect of my weapons.
Sure can. I appreciate that they kind of do their talking out their feelings and in the combat. So every time you face Hades, like, you know, you see a lot of things that are like, you know, them starting to make more ground despite the fact that they're fighting each other. Just like, you know, dumb macho masculinity thing, but like, it's still neat that they're making ground potentially towards some sort of reconciliation. It's awesome, actually, that Zagreus, like, pretty much everyone he fights, you know, he tries to befriend these people, even though, you know, they continually fight him over and over again. Like, you know, with Megara and Astarius, right? Like, it's like Zagreus knows that you know, given that they're all dead or, you know, godly or whatever, they're just going to keep coming back to this realm, right? There's no point in trying to dominate your opponent into submission, right? The only way to stop having them stop fighting you is to defeat their will to fight in the first place, either by making them your friend or by proving that you will just, you know, give up last. So, no, it's really good. I really appreciate Zagreus as a character. He is unlike a lot of characters out there, actually. So, and it's great.
One of these days or nights, not so very long from now, the prince may finally traverse beyond this point. And then, what shall become of him and I? Well, hopefully not this. No!
There's so many different narrations for this ending. I really appreciate that Supergiant spent the time and money to actually record so much VO.
Well, that was pretty
And
good.
voiceovers. Ta-da! And that's the spear. Hope you like this. If you are down for me showing off some more stuff about this game, I'd be happy to. Just shoot a comment or something or other. Maybe we'll look into some specific gods and try and go all in on different boons and see what we can get out of it. Thanks for watching, and catch you next time.